Mac Brown shows up, and Texas has won 3 Big 12 championships since 1996. John Malkovich was the head coach when they joined the Big 12. Do you know who won those 3 conference championships for Texas as head coach? It's obvious. It's obvious.
Oh, Darrell Royal?
Big 12? Big 12? Yeah.
Mac Brown.
Like, all the good things that have happened to Texas since 1980 have been Mac Brown. And they ran him off. Remember that? They had a chance at Nick Saban. We don't talk about this enough. They could have got Nick Saban at the end of the Mac Brown era. And they chose to let it ride for another year with Mac.
That absolutely would have changed the trajectory of history right there.
Oh my God!
We would no longer have to entertain the Texas is back discourse.
I mean, but
what kind of world that would be?
But they are back. Like they are who they are. If they finish 8-3, 9-3, right?
Yeah, but we wouldn't have to talk about it. That's what I'm saying.
It just be what it is.
If Nick Saban had the type of run that he has at Alabama that he had at Texas, Texas would just be, we would all still be drinking the Kool-Aid of, of course Texas is good.
Bro, so like dude in here talking about, so you're just saying hire Mac Brown back. No. Mac Brown is closer to winning a national championship in North Carolina than he would be if he returned to Texas. Think about that. Think about that for a second. He's closer to winning a football national championship in North Carolina than he would be if he took over Texas today. Some damn 8 years after y'all fired him. My goodness.
Texas is just trying to thread such a small needle, because Urban Meyer just said, no, I'm not going to coach Texas. I'm going to continue to be a broadcaster. Like, you know it, I know it. It would kill me. But that's the type of person that they would need to get Texas back rolling, to be like fantastic, not just like occasionally have a 10-win season and then kind of hover around 8-9. They need a Nick Saban. They need an Urban Meyer. They need a Dabo Swinney. They need that person, and you can't just hire those people, because at least right now they're already working and doing it.
See, and we talked about this for a couple of weeks now, but like the question that we had was, if you don't get Urban Meyer, and you won't, and you didn't, who do you go get? And the answer is apparently nobody, because there's 3 years left on Tom Herman's deal. And I feel that you're going to get further away if you blow it up. But it's also some of the things that he has done have just embarrassed some people, right? The whole Zach Smith situation, not saying that like he did anything wrong. I am saying he's involved because Zach Smith involved him, right? You have the flipping the cameras off on signing day. Like, was he doing it at someone in particular? Nah, but he got caught on camera or forgot that the cameras were there and flipped off the cameras on signing day. You got him doing the chicken wing to mock Drew Lock in his first year at Texas in the Texas Bowl, where the MVP was his punter, a dude that he only called punter, saying punters don't get names. They just get punter. He's like, I was joking, but no, it's something you said, dog. It's something you said. It's a thing that just bothers us in this modern time. It's like Mike Gundy referring to his players by their numbers, being impersonal. 2 is really good. Like 2 is Tylan Wallace. You can say Tylan Wallace. As a matter of fact, we would prefer you say Tylan is really good, because he is. Because he is. 30's really good too. Chuba Hubbard's really good.
Right, and I'm not going to say that the way that he treats people is fine, but or that I would excuse it, but the number one part of your culture that you need to be as a college football coach, particularly Texas, is winning. If he's working on a 95% win percentage at Texas right now, he's like, he has some rough edges, but look at it, he has results.
Right.
That's the only thing that matters to Texas. Like, I don't care about him pumping out. I don't particularly care if I'm a Texas fan about him pumping out NFL talent. I don't particularly care about his graduation rates. I don't particularly care about the type of character that he puts in his community or on the team. It needs to be about wins. Now, if you're at a school that's already getting wins, you absolutely need to care about that. But Texas doesn't. Like, they have no. I don't have time for you to install a culture.
Not just I don't have time for you to install a culture. We make too much money for the culture not to be money. Okay? Like, that's the other thing. What?
Wait, wins are money. That's it.
What? I'm just...
Yeah, I'm with you.
So the other way I go at this is with their last two hires, they have bullied people with money. They were going to try to bully Urban Meyer with money. It didn't work. Because I look around and, we could throw anything against the wall. People have done it in the chat. Shout out to Doc Winston Old Boogie talking about Texas putting out feelers to Bud Kilmer. That makes me fun. That made me laugh if nobody else. So I appreciate that.
I can't wait for Texas to absolutely invent, patent, and throw out to the world a time machine so they can just start. Yeah, so it looks like we're talking to Barry Switzer from '88. It's looking like it's going to be a good time down here. It's like, oh yeah, we found Bud Wilkinson. He's about to turn the whole team around. Like,
Newt Rockne has been announced as the University of Texas football coach. No. Hey, John Heisman, he of Yale, has agreed to be the 2021 head coach of the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, we decided to throw
Walter Camp
future money at Jim Trussell to come down to Texas.
All right, so here's this. What if we did this in reverse, right? Like, Drew Brees signed a 2-year contract worth $50 million to be a broadcaster at NBC Sports when his football career ends. Looks like it's ending, right? But he did that while he's still playing football. Bill Belichick has signed a 2-year contract to become the head coach of University of Texas football when he retires. That's the head coach, general manager for the Patriots. What if we did that? Also, let me add this. Colt McCoy is making his way through football. And Major Applewhite would love to get a call. He's analyst over at Alabama. Mm-hmm. But dude in here talking about Billy Napier. All right, man. Since we throwing stuff at the wall, how about Jamie Chadwell, who is undefeated, who's probably going to win the Sun Belt? By the way, Jamie Chadwell was on ESPN Radio with me and Jeff Dickerson doing game night. Got to talk to him for a little bit. Mm-hmm. That man is from South Carolina, even if he's not from South Carolina, and in the best way possible. I so enjoyed hearing that man talk. It was great. He was so excited for his kids. Also, the joke is now that Coastal Carolina beat Zach Wilson, and Coastal Carolina beat Zach Wilson. And if you didn't watch the game, you have no idea what I'm talking about. None. And that's just fine. That's how it is. So, knowing that Tom Herman's probably going to keep his job, what do you do now? Because you got to start a different quarterback, and you brought in Chris Ash to try to give you a defense, which they kind of sort of have. It's not as bad as it was last year, but that's not really that great a look. And Mike Yurcich is apparently offensive coordinator, but they're still running power spread. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Also, Fozzie dropped this on me. Shout out to him. Texas is like 20-0 when they have rushed for over 200 yards in a game. And you got Secretariat back there in Bijan Robinson. Like, swear to you, the second coming of Ricky Williams.
Ooh.
No, he's 9 rushes, 172 yards, 3 tutties. That's regular for him in high school because he was the offense in high school. Like, coaches would say, in games where he rushed for 385, 423 on like 17 carries or whatever, be like, no, we had him. We filled. He's just stronger and faster. Like, it was, quite honestly, no, we built the defense to stop him. And he said, I will not be stopped. That's who you got running the ball for you. And that you waited this long to feature him when I was gassing him up all preseason. And I was gassing him up all last year. And I got Texas fans talking about it's a fireable offense that he wasn't featured earlier in the year. I told y'all that. I said He is the only person in this league who terrifies me, and he's a true freshman. You have him. And then 9 carries, 172 yards against Kansas State, a defense I thought was good. Like, if I got to talk you into handing the ball to your best player, we got a head coaching problem.
No, that's a problem. I was about to say, like, they're, as much as I'd love to give Tom Herman like a lot of slack, can't. And this, once again, because I feel like that all I do is say Texas. But we're talking about an absolutely okay ball club. Texas is a fine football program. The problem is that they're not elite and great. That's a kind of a strange bit of like headspace to talk about a club. It's like, why isn't Texas great? I'm like, well, because he's not. Because they make coaching decisions, like the culture's bad and the expectations are too high. Yeah, it's crime that this kid wasn't playing earlier.
And you also have all this talent around them. Like, their ceiling for 4 years has been Sam Ehlinger. They've been exactly as good as he's been. Mm-hmm. You know? And then, like, what is the peak for Texas during the Tom Herman era? Sugar Bowl win? Or beating a college football playoff team and Big 12 champion OU in the Red River rivalry? That's it. It's either that or you're going to try to hold up that 7-point loss to LSU last year. And I hate holding up losses for anything. That was a good loss. What?
Hey, I'll give it to you. It was good. It was a good, fun game. You can't use that as any sort of metric for where your program is.